Hey guys, how you doing? Back in the car again. And today we're going to talk about advice given to you as a writer, and we get advice from all different facets and how to take that advice. And I am going to actually go in depth about the first piece of advice I was given as a writer, and that I actually took in and actually used and applied, and has been kind of like my mantra ever since. So stay tuned, we'll be talking about that soon. Okay, so running through the intros, I am Sylvia Hubbard, and I am recently married, and I am a high suspense dark romance author of over 45 independently published books, and I'm also founder of Motown Writers Network, and basically that's an organization that helps writers get to their literary goals and connect readers to Michigan authors. So you can check us out at motownwriters.com. I also run a blog called howtoebook.org, and you can sign up there as well to get articles on publishing and marketing in the 21st century, and you can just go there and subscribe, howtoebook.org. So today we're going to be talking about advice and when people give it to us and how we should take it. So a lot of times over the years, as an author or even as a writer, I have been given a lot of advice on, hey, you should publish this story, or hey, you should become a writer, or hey, you should become an author, and things like that. And a lot of times when you don't believe, even though you wake up every day and you want to be an author, or you just want to be a writer, but you wake up every day and you know what you want to be, and everyone's telling you what you want to be, still that it doesn't hit. And you don't really take that advice for them until you finally believe that you can be it. So even in my Shiro, when I met her before it was time for me to accept my role as an author or as a writer. And Beverly Jenkins, I call her my Shiro because I do love her, and she gave me wonderful advice. She was like, you can do it, you can write books that represent us or represent you, and represents the stories that you want to tell, but you can do it, you can write those books. But I never really believe, so it's kind of like it goes in, and it's in my ear, and it's there, it's sitting inside of my brain, and I can hear their voices of telling me, yes, Sylvia, you can do it. But it didn't connect. So it was here and it was there, but it wasn't connecting where it was there in that spot where it says, oh my gosh, this is what I need to do. So, and in terms, I talk about that for everyone. Everyone needs to just be able to, yeah, that's where I am. That's where my passion is, and that's where I am going to do what I want to do because I'm dreaming about it. Everyone's telling me to do it, and that click. Once it clicks, I'm good. So, the advice that finally got me off of my butt, it was actually by author Judith McNaught, and I had been reading her books for a while because I had gone through the Beverly Jenkins, and then my other favorite author was Johanna Lindsey, and then I was in the Catherine Woodward stage, and I was just going through all these books by all these authors. I mean, I'm just eating them up, and then I was going through my Judith McNaught, and then she just happened to be coming to Detroit. And it was during, I would say, I want to say 1998, 1999, I think. And I was so excited because I was going to meet one of my authors, and I was going to ask them, how do I finish a book? Just because I would start a book and not finish it. I knew I could write it. Beverly had told me I could write it. My Shiro had given me the power to get the writing, but I could never finish that book. And so I stood in that long line and bought a book, and I got up to the table, and I'm ready for angels to sing and just give me the advice of the century, lady, because I've read all your books and they were awesome, and you're just gonna give me advice that's just gonna click. It's gonna do the clicking. And so I got there and I gave her my book, and I'm like, oh, I want to write books so bad. I want to finish. I've been writing for a while, and I know I can write it. I do know in my heart that, you know, the writing is in me. So how do I get to the end? And I'm looking at her like I am about to get the advice of the century. And she signs the book, looks up at me, and she says, just finish it. That's it. She says, you know, you get to the end, whether it's bad or good, but you finish it. And once you finish it, you can always go back, and if it's bad, then make it better. If it's good, make it better. And then give it to an editor. And that was it. And I was angry. I was really angry because I thought I was going to get that advice that was going to just rock my world. And it didn't rock my world because it was something so simple and it wasn't magical. And I went home and I stayed angry for a while. Matter of fact, I didn't even read the book. I was reading by her. I didn't even finish it because I was just angry because I felt she was keeping something from me. But as I started really thinking about it and saying, well, why can't you finish it? What's keeping you from finishing it? Is it time? Is it how the book is set up? What is it? And by that time it was going on like the end of the year, like Y2K, and I was also planning my first wedding actually during that time. And then I kind of just said, you know what, why, you know, the end of the century is coming. I would like by the end of the century that I actually finish and complete a book that that is good enough to be published. And so I sat down during September and October, and I finished that book. By November, I finished it. I did it. I just sat down and I finished it. It was a bad ending, but I got to the end. It sucked. It really sucked. And when I went back and I read it again, it really did suck. But I did it. I followed that advice. That was the first advice that I actually took, and I actually got to the end. And then I started just going through and thinking about all the other advice I had gotten in the past, and saying, hey, if I can do that advice, then maybe I should take all the other advice and go through it. And that's what I just began. I was like, okay, you give me advice, whether I like the advice or not. If it's your advice, I'm gonna see, hey, can I make that part of my regime, or can this be a part of the new thing I'm doing? And then, I take it, some I'll take it with a grain of salt, and the other I'll take it, hey, that made my process better. Learn from that process, and then kept it going. So when everyone comes up to me and asks me, Sylvia, how do you do this? How do you write the books? How do you get through it? How do you get to the end, from beginning to the end? I pretty much tell them what Judith Not told me. Finish it. Finish it. It's going to be good. It's going to be bad. Just make it better. Then give it to an editor and go from there. Because there's no magic to it. It's only time and sweat, basically. And that goes with anything that you do in the world. It's just basically your time and your sweat and your butt in a chair. So to all those nano writers that are out there trying to do the nano thing, congratulations. I did it twice, 3 times actually, and I got it twice. And now that you're on that journey too as well, I wish you a lot of success. I'm going to wrap it up, and I want you guys to please go out there and write. Put your butt in the chair, get the time and the energy and the sweat, and just do it. just get out there and do it. So I pray and hope, and let me know if you've done it. Comment on this video, and let me know if there's any other video or topics you want me to talk about. And this is just a short kind of like reminiscence of the advice I took. I'll talk about other advice people have given me that I've applied and that's worked, but that was probably the first one. So thank you. Thank you, all the authors that are out there that are giving advice, straight up realistic advice. Thank you for that, and for encouraging us every day as writers and as authors, even authors above me and stuff, that I appreciate your advice. I appreciate you still giving it, and I appreciate you still out there doing your due and helping other writers. So yeah, thank you guys. Make sure you check out my website, sylviahubbard.com. I am still working on Emperor's Addiction. It's coming along good. I just got her kidnapped, so I'm trying to break her bond out, and now I'm getting into lethal, and you guys know how I feel about getting into lethal's head, so pray for me. Okay, I think I went back into his head again. So yeah, pray for me with that, and the war is coming. So you guys pay attention to the Heart series. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna put out a better family chart about that too. But we'll talk about more of what I'm doing in my writing. You know how I get. I'm kind of shy, so I want to wrap this up, and I will see you guys next time for the next video. So goodbye.